Welcome to Oracle F1 channel. In this video, I am coming up with Oracle 12CR2 physical standby database creation steps. I have prepared that high level steps and these are the steps I'm going to follow with that Oracle 12201 primary and physical standby database creation. So I'm going to configure with these steps. I'm going to demonstrate with all the steps I have prepared and we will see how it goes. First of all, in Oracle DataGuard physical standby configuration, there are various steps in which you can configure physical standby database. Either you can configure DBCA method, active database cloning method, and several methods. Yeah, and we need to make several changes to primary database before we can even set up the standby database. Yes, absolutely, we need to do some basic setup, basic configuration, initialization parameter configuration changes in primary database. Then we need to proceed with that standby physical standby database creation. Here it is, my lab configuration overview. Here it is, primary details. The database is running SID SRCDB1 and DB unique name is also SRCDB1. This is the Oracle home location. The host name SR lab your primary.local domain. This is a IP address for this server. So port name I am used for this Oracle 1521. The standby data is also SID SRCDB1 we are going to clone, and DB unique name I am going to change as like SRCDB1 as SBY like standby, and the same Oracle user home user and host name SR lab SBY.local domain. The IP address will be changed to 202. The primary 201, standby 202. Port number the same thing 1521. So here it is my assumption. We assume that the primary server has database SID SRB1 up and running. The standby database has Oracle 12 installation done in the same Oracle home location as primary. Yes, here it is. I'll show you. This is the primary server. You can check that environment and which is the database running SRCDB1 and listener service also running SRCDB1. Listener SRCDB1. Okay, this is the primary setup. The database is up and running. That listener service is also running. So okay, we log into that primary database. Primary must run in archive mode. Check the archive mode are enabled or not. We need to check it out. Check it, and the two way of we can check it out, like archive log list or select log mode from the database. Yes, I'm connecting to the database. So archive log mode is enabled. You can check. In this method as well. So archive log is enabled. If it is not enabled means it will show like no archive log mode. Okay. So in my environment I have already enabled archive log mode. If it is not running archive log mode, then you have to shut it down the database and start up mode and then alter database archive log, and then alter database open archive log list. It will be enabled that archive log mode. So after that, enable force logging on primary. So we need to check the database is running on force login. So force logging already enabled. In Oracle, users can restrict redo generation for SQL by using no logging clause. This no logging transaction will be a problem for physical standby. Hence, we force logging. We need to enable force logging. So even user uses no logging clause, our SQL will be logged on to the redo. So that we need to enable alter database force logging. It will be enabled. So we can check. And then we need to enable that standby file management. We need to make sure whenever the add drop data file in primary database, those files are also added dropped on standby side. So that by default it will be the standby file management, it will be a manual. We can check it in the database, and I have already enabled so parameter. So it is auto. I have already enabled that auto. So auto system set standby file management auto. It is by default it will be on manual method. And coming to the next one, create standby log files. You must create standby log files on primary. These files are used by a standby database to store read it receive from primary database. Our primary may become standby later and we would need them. So better to create it first, check the current log groups. Okay. Yes, maybe whenever we have a failover or a switchover operation, so at that time, if it is not created as standby log file means it will be a big tedious and bigger problem. So that now itself we can create the standby log files. So I am checking the log groups. This command. So it is there. There are 3 groups are there, and 200 MB each file. And we can check like a log file member, how many members are there, like so. I have already created these standby log groups. Here you can see, guys, I have already created. So what we have to do, add the standby log files, make sure group members should be from different series. Like in this case we choose to start with the 11 and above, and this helps in easy differentiation. Make sure to keep the thread number and the log file size exactly same. Oracle also recommends to always create n+1 standby log files, where n is the total number of log files plus 1. Additionally, we need to create. So you can see here, there will be 3 log files. I have created additionally 1. So 4 files. 4 members are there. So I have created. And then check standby log files via blow query. Yeah, you can check this standby log files with this query as well. So you can see here 4 log files, and this is also given same output. So with that member standby. Okay, then we need to enable the flashback on primary. Primary database is highly recommended because flashback database is highly recommended because in case of failover, you need to not to recreate primary database from scratch. So it will be always safest approach. We need to create before creating a standby database. So we need to enable like flashback databases enabled or not. Select flashback on from BDollar database. I have already enabled in my server. In my case, I have already enabled. If it is not enabled, what do you have to do? So parameter recovery. So you can see DB recovery file destination. This is 3202 FRA, and DB recovery file test size 4 GB I have allocated. and we can increase like 15G. I'm increasing like this. So now you can check, it will be modified 15G. Then database flashback on. So if it is not enabled, means you can enable the flashback database. Okay. Then check the DB unique name parameter on primary. Make sure your primary database has DB unique name parameter set for consistency purpose. If it is not set properly, use auto system set command. So here I am checking the DB name. So that's the DB1, and so parameter and DB unique name. So DB1. So I have already taken output. Create possible file for standby. Okay. So you can see here. So here you can see it is having that password file. If you want, you can SCP these files to standby side. Otherwise, other alternate solution, we can recreate on standby side that password file. So this is needed for cloning purpose. Even if there is one password file in Oracle DBS location, create a new one with standby side with standby SID. Okay. So if it is not, the password file is not in primary side, we need to create this one. If it is there, means we can SCP this SCP this password file to standby location, or else you can create this password file like this below. This command you can in standby side. Already the password file is there. I am removing this one. It's asking to password contain must be at least one special character. Okay, fine. What I will do, I will SCP this file. Oracle 168 DBS SBY. So the password file has been SCP to target server. So we don't have any issues with the password file. Password file has been created. That newly created password file is there. Okay. Next, network configuration. Use below TNS entries, put them under Oracle user, Oracle home, network admin, TNS name, Aura. Change host as per your environment and execute as both primary and standby. Notice that the use of the SID rather than the service name in the entries. This is important too, as the broker will need to connect to the database when they are down, so services will not be present. So you can see here, I have already put an entry that both the TNS names.ora and listener.ora. So I have already made the entries in the primary side. I have put the, I am not putting into here that server name. It's not looking into this, and I am using this IP addresses instead of server name. So I have already made the entries here, the TNS names.ora and also listener.ora. So I have made the entry, and you can see that target side as well, standby side. So it is there, and also listener also I made an entry. I put an entry, okay, and then so both entries done. Configure listener and primary database, since the broker will be need to connect to, if it is we are going to broker configuration means this is the steps and record. So I have put the listener also here. You can see that listener also I have made the entry. So these steps also I have completed as well. This side this is for primary side. This is for standby side. So I made the entry, and once the listener or changes are in place, restart the listener and put the server. So what we need to do, we need to restart the server on both the nodes. So already I have started, and the status. So you can see here the services are running. Already I have started. So standby side, not at, started the TNS because listener, because I need to start with that instance first, and then I will start that database listener. Okay. Configure read to transport. Note, if you are planning to use data broker, then you have to skip this configure read to transport and jump to build instance. So we are not going to do that data broker. So we can skip that one, and then we can come to this read to transfer from primary instance. Below statement says if that current database is in primary role, then transport logs to standby. We need to change service and DB unique name for same parameter on the standby server. So on primary server, you can check alter, you can check so it's not been set. We can set scope equal to both. Now you can see it's been set, okay. And fetch archive log server. This parameter tell the primary as to where it is get the archive from file server. Okay. So now this is also you can check. So I have already configured parameter file. So SRCDB1 fault line and SRCDB1 SBY is a fault server. So we need to put a fault server like I have already put an and configured on primary server. So set up standby data get configured in primary. The this parameter will let primary database know which database are in data configuration. Okay. So log archive config, you can see here. So log archive config already SRCDB1, SRCDB2. That is fine. Okay, I have already made an entry, like I have configured already this parameter. So build standby. On standby server, create parameter file with the below commands, contents. Okay. So what we need to do on standby server, we need to create initialization parameter. Like we need to create, go to this DBS location. There is standby server. Vi init srcdb1.ora. So here db underscore name equal to srcdb1. Okay, so I have created the initialization parameter with that db name, source db name. Create pfile and primary, open it and create nested directories on the server. Okay, yeah, already in primary side we need to create that p file from sp file, and I have already done this. And what are all the directories we need to create? These directories we need to create on standby side. So already done. Start the auxiliary instance on the standby server by starting using the temporary init Ora file. Yeah, it is. I have created that file. So go. We need to check that Oracle SID. Okay. Now I am logging into that SQL plus SSDBA. I am starting up with the database as no amount. I am starting up that instance and exit. Check that. So here it is SRCDB1 running. So I have started with that no amount with that temporary created the p file. Okay. Then we need to exit from the SQL plus. I have exited, and then we need to start that. We need to start listener. Listener ctl start. Yes, it's showing status blocked. So we need to fix it. Otherwise, we cannot be able to clone. Okay, now the build standby server. I have created the init Aura file on standby side, and I have started with the P file no mount. You can see here that instance is running here. So I have started that listener. So listener also running. Listener ctl status. So it's taking the connection, and one is blocked and one is unknown. So coming to here, and I am connecting now. What we are going to do, this step completed. So I have started and exit from SQL Plus, and I'm going to start the duplication. So I'm going to connect Arman on primary side, Arman connect target. Okay, I have changed the password. 1, 2, 4. So I have created the password file in standby side as well. So I am connecting target got connected, and I am connecting auxiliary instance. So that is not mounted, no mount one. We have started the auxiliary instance. Now I am going to do the duplicate. Here through an error like password for target and auxiliary connection must be the same when using active duplicate. Yes, I have changed that password file. I recreated the password file in source side, primary DB side. I have initiated the clone. It's running the duplication now. The duplication is running currently. In the meantime, we can check that alert log. So currently it's running. Restore is completed. Now the database recovery is going on. Recovery started. So duplication is completed successfully. But we need to here we are getting error like we need to create standby redo logs here. So once completed this operation, we need to check post duplication post physical standby creation. We need to check. We need to recreate that redo log groups, redo log files. Okay, you can see here that finished the duplicate operation, finished the recovery. Now we need to set the standby parameters for syncing. We need to make this database in sync. Select name, mode, open mode, database role, status from database $instance. So you can see here srcdb1 archive log mode mounted physical standby database root. So the database configuration is completed, and we need to check host. All server, so parameter, uh, so it is set, and log arg test2. It is already been set. Change to, we need to change like this. Auto system set. Scope equal to both. It's through an error. What I did, I earlier I saw that there is no archive destination set in standby side. So what I did, I have set that archive destination, and I did that change. It's accepted. It's done. Okay. Okay. Then we need to do that. So parameter standby. So it's auto. Okay. Now create is so parameter. Let's start with the SV file only. Okay. Create SV file. File. SV file. Now we need to enable that flashback. So now the black flashback has been enabled. We will start that MRP, alter database manage standby database disconnect from session. So I'm starting MRP. So I'm checking that. So wait for log. What we need to do, like, is there any error? Is there? We'll check it out. Okay. So there is no error, valid only status. And what we will do? We will do that different production side. Primary side. And then we'll enable it. So we'll cancel it, and not will cancel again, and we'll start. Couple of switch will do. We'll check the standby side. Still waiting for log. Select archive log list. So it's waiting for sequence 12. Here it is 15. So resolvable gap. Here I am getting unable to log into the standby. So error received is logging into the standby. So in 12c 12.2 there will be on redo transport user is there. We need to create redo transport user, and we need to give SysOffer privileges. And what I did here, I have created create user cdb8dg, that is one user I have created, and grant connect resource to that user and grant SysOffer to that user. I have checked that password fail user, it is there. So here it is there, that user I have created, but in the standby side I don't have that user. So what I need to do, that password file I need to transfer to that standby side. Password file I need to transfer to standby side, and then I need to give the transport redo transport user to both the database primary and standby. Need to create a redo transport user, and it will be live. So that is what I'm going to do. So now I'm going to transfer that. So this file I'm going to scp standby side. So I have transferred. Now I will check it is there. So that redo transport user I need to create now. What I will do, I will alter system set redo transport user. So I am given both the side. Now you can check the recovery will happen. Now we need to restart that. We'll give a switch. Now I am not getting that unable to log in to the database standby, unable to receive login to standby error. So this that logs shipping to standby now. You can see here logs are shipping to standby here. Now we can check. We cancel that MRP and start. Yeah, finally the database has been synced. Actually, I have changed that log archive destination service names. Here it is pointing to CDB1. So I have changed that SRCDB SBI, the service name I have changed, and I did a couple of switches and deferred, and I have re-enabled that logs are catching up, and it's going to be that MRP has happened, the media recovery happened, and also I have validated that manage standby database, the process logs are applying. You can see here I am doing one more switch, that logs are shipping. And see, it's going, media recovery, it's done. Also you can see that playing log. So you can see here last maximum log sequence 23. Here also select maximum sequence 22. Okay, applying 23. So we are good with this. We have configured that 12 to 01 primary to physical standby database creation. Hope you guys liked this video, and if you like, kindly share to your friends and do visit Oracle F1 channel. I will be posting next video about flashback database and 19C feature, and in my next video Oracle 19C feature, the flashback database. See you guys. Thank you. Thanks for your support, and all of you guys keep visiting my Oracle F1 channel. Thank you very much. We'll see you in next video.